Hey everybody, Jeremy from Britical Saiyans here, and today I'm going to be showing you Android 21 for, I think, the fourth time now? I don't know, lost count. If you like what you see, just hit the sub button, helps out, and it lets us know that we're doing good. Right, so start with, we've got our leader. So she's just got an auto. When you place it's in the leader area, you activate an Android 21, well, you activate 21 scheme from the deck. Basically what the entire deck revolves around, so you just get to play this out straight away. And then she has an active main of once per turn, you choose a clone token in your opponent's battle area and remove it from the game, draw one, then choose it from one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost of 1, return it to his hand. Then at the start of your opponent's main phase, you get a blue-green multicolour energy back to active. So, the one cost bouncing is kind of useful, very much depends on what they have out. A lot of the time, I just don't do it because their one drops don't make much of an impact unless it's something that's going to swing and rip to double strike. Then I'm like, yeah, get rid of that. Let's try and make you waste energy on that. Awaken is just draw 2, and then on this side the active main stays the same. You remove token, you draw a card, you bounce a 1 cost, and you get a multicolour energy back to active mode. The nice thing though is you can activate this, awaken, and activate it again to get 2 back for 1 turn, but otherwise it's just a token removal to get an energy and all sorts. We'll start with the Z deck. There's 3 of the Super Saiyan Son Goku Awakened Onslaught. So it costs 1, 3 Z energy, it's got 15k, it's got an auto of place one of your Z energy nearest drop, and the end of turn removes from the game, choose it from one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 5 less, and place it at the bottom nearest deck. And then you can active main once per turn. If your leader is mono blue, you discard an extra card, draw 1 card, and he gains critical. So you can just bring it out, swing it for a crit, and then at the end of turn bounce it to bounce some of their stuff. It's pretty straightforward. Next there is Cell, Awakening of the Created. So it's a 3 cost, 2 Z energy, 25k. He's got Deflect and Critical. And he's got an auto when this is played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost of 5 or less, and place them on this card. So it's just a nice bit of board removal. And then it's got active main once per turn. If there are one or more cards on this card, you can place them on the drop. Switch the card to active mode. If you place 4 in the drop from this skill, it gains triple strike for a turn. So then you can restand it. If you send 4, you can swing it for a triple crit, which is very threatening. And finally, we've got 3 copies of the Frieza Resurrected Ambition. So 2 costs, 1 Z, 15k, Deflate Double Strike. On place, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost 5 less, and KO it. And then once per turn, you can place the Z energy nearest drop. When one of your other green battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or more attacks, your opponent discards cards from their hand. So it gives you something, a popping skill, and then once per turn, you can make them discard cards by swinging your green stuff. So going into the main deck now, we'll start with the 21 scheme, just because it helps you understand more of the deck. So it's got field, cost 4, it's got auto once per turn. When you or your opponent play a non-token battle card, this card, it can't attack for the duration of the turn. So the first thing you play has Summoning Sickness, as it's called. It's got an auto of when you play a black battle card, place it in the nearest drop area. So just don't bother running over basically. And then at the start of your opponent's main phase, play 2 clone tokens with 10k power in your opponent's battle area. So clone tokens have no combo cost, they're literally just 10k bodies. They can attack unless you prevent them from attacking, but you also need them on your opponent's field to do all your effects. So we have our Unison for the deck, which is just 4 copies of Super Android 13 Neverending Bloodlust. It's got 14k, specified 2. Active main, if you don't have Unison to play and choose the clone token from your opponent's area move from the game, play it in rest mode with a marker on it. It's then got +2 active main, one of your mono blue leaders gain 5k for a turn, and your opponent can't like opponent's clone tokens can't attack during your opponent's next turn. So kind of standard. And then -4, active battle, this gains 11k and double strike for a turn. So it can go up to 25 double, it's just a -4, but you can easily generate the 2 markers per turn by using the active main and preventing your opponent from attacking with clone tokens, which is very useful because you just keep giving them free stuff to hit you with. So going into the extra cards, we've got 2 copies of Dimension Magic, the blue spark in the gate. So if these blue negate, get 2 of your blue energy back to active, and from 5 or more cards and drop, you can rip a life. We've got 2 copies of Restoration. So it's negate the attack, then if your leader is blue Android 21 and you have a blue-green multicolour energy, choose which one Android 16 energy costs 2 in your hand and play it. So it can play any 2 cost 16s. Ideally, you play this one because then he can ramp you a card. So that is your target for that skill. We have 3 copies of Sensu Bean. So Sensu Bean is now, during your opponent's turn, active battle, choose one of your cards that gains 5k power for a turn, and then get 2 of your energy back to active mode. But instead of just being active battle, it's active battle during your opponent's turn because of the year after. Still useful though. And you can always guarantee 1 energy back with your leader's skill. So you have your Sensu Bean cost, and then Sensu Bean gives you the extra energy. So you go back to 2 pretty quickly. And our last extra card is Infinite Energy. So 3 cost, it's got Energy Exhaust. I was going to say this now, for the multicolour cards, I'm not going to sit here and read Energy Exhaust because we'll be here a while. All multicolour cards have Energy Exhaust. Some of them can ignore it, but they all have it. So, get out of the way. And it's got active main, draw 1, choose one of your multicolour battle cards and place it in your energy in rest mode. You can't play battle cards with power between 30 and 35 for the duration of the game. And at the start of your opponent's next main phase, choose up to one of your multicolour energy and switch to active mode. There's no battle cards that will be affected by that power gap. And like I said, you get an energy back, so it's just more untapping. Right, so starting with our 1-drop battle cards, we have 3 copies of Android 16 for his mother. So it's 1 cost 4k, it's got unique, permanent, this card can't be used in the combat from a battle area, and your opponent's clone tokens can't attack. So this just prevents clone tokens attacking, which is really useful. Also once per turn, when a clone token is played by one of the skills of your extra cards, play 2 clone tokens in your opponent's battle area. So when this regenerates your opponent 2 tokens, they get 2 extra tokens. And he's got active main, you remove a clone token from your opponent's field, place a card from your hand or drop area. So you could combo it, send it, and then use its skill to bring itself back. Remove a token and prevent them from attacking with tokens for the game. So this is a card you want to see very quickly. Next we've got 3 copies of Android 18 Speed Substitution. I'd run a 4 if I had it, but 3 is fine. You could always just take out this thing. That'll be showing you next. So she's got 2 autos. The first being, when it's played, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, add up to 1 blue or green android from amongst your hand and shuffle your deck. So pretty much every battle card in here is searchable. And then when this is played, you activate the skill. At the end of your turn, you may choose a blue-green multicolored energy, return it to your hand. If you do, put a card from your hand in your energy in rest mode. So you can bounce an energy to replace it with something else. It's quite useful, lets you just get things in and out. You can put something with energy exhaust in for a turn, tap it, end of turn, put it back, put something else in, and then repeat the process of ignoring the energy exhaust. And got 1 copies of these cards each, so we've got 21 the Ringleader and Master Roshi, Masterly Majesty. The Roshi is just you choose multicolored energy, return it to your hand. When you come with this card, you choose a card from your hand, place it in rest mode. So it's like the speed substitution, just as a combo instead. And then 21 Ringleader is if you lose Android, when you play this card, you draw one. Then at the end of your opponent's turn, you play a clone token in their battle area. And it's also got active main once per turn. You play a blue and a green. If your leader is an android, you place 21 scheme from your drop. So it's just here's field recovery. That's the reason I ran it, just in case it gets popped. And if not, you just generate more tokens. Next, going into our 2-drops. So we have 3 copies of 16 NG amplification. So he's got 5k multicolors, so he's got the NG exhaust. And then if you have a blue and green multicolor card in the NG, when you play this card from your hand, you place top card of your deck in NG rest mode, and you can't play battle cards with 35 and 35k for the duration of the game. So again, it's got the power restriction, but that's not an issue, and it just lets you ramp a card. So, it's very useful. Next, we've got our super combos for the deck. So there's 2 18 Bionic Bullets and Fidelity Inceptor. This one doesn't matter so much. It's just a blue one that you can use on 4 less to draw a card. I just have the Videl because I've got 2 foil ones, and you can't run the Vegeta because you have to have mono energy, which you won't. And if you do have mono energy in this deck, something's drastically wrong. See a therapist. And the 18 is if your leader is blue or green, when you come with this card from your hand, your opponent chooses 1 card in the hand, place it at the bottom of the deck. So it's just a little bit of hand disruption that you can combo off. And our final 2-drop is 2 copies of Kusu, Angel of Universe 10. So she's blue-green, got 15k, counterplay, you play this card. And then she's got 2 autos. Her first one is, if you have 1 more multicolor energy, when this card in your hand is played or used in a combo, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand and places it at the bottom of their deck. So again, hand disruption. And then when this is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an edge cost of 6 or less and place it at the bottom of your deck. So on play, she has 2 autos that go off in tandem. You can choose the order which they go off because they're both on play. But if you combo her, she's hand disruption, and it's a counterplay that can get rid of something that's 6 cost. So it's got a nice broad blanket to hit. Next is our 3 cost of the deck, which is just 2 copies of 21 Brilliant Idea. So she's got 15k. Auto, when it's played, activate skill. At the end of your opponent's turn, play 2 clone tokens in her battle area. So it just generates more tokens. And then she's got active main once per turn. You remove a clone token from your opponent's battle area. Then you can either choose one of your opponent's battle cards to KO it, or you can choose your leader or one of your battle cards, and it gains 10k in crit for the turn. So it's crit pressure, or it's just a spot removal. I find the crit pressure is usually more helpful, but it depends what you're up against. Next we've got our 4 costs of the decks. So to start with, we've got Android 18, let the battle begin. This is very useful in any Android deck, especially blue Androids of some degree. So it's 15k, blocker, counterplay, play this card. If the battle card being played has an edge cost of 4 or less, it's placed at the bottom of your deck instead of being played. And if your leader is a Android or heroine card, and you have units with a specified cost 2, and it's your opponent's turn, reduce this card's cost by 3. So it just becomes a 1 cost counterplay that gives you a blocker and removes a card. So, like I said, very useful in blue Androids. Next we've got 2 copies of Maleficent Technique Freezer. So it's 15k, it's got active main, remove 2 clone tokens, play this card from your hand. And then when you play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with an edge cost of 3 or less and return it to the owner's hand. So it's a way to clear out tokens, spot removal, and then you just have a 15k beat stick. So, of the Maleficent Technique cards, I find that Freezer's kind of the most useful because there's no energy cost to him, and he can just remove something, and there you go, 15k body, ready to go. Next, we got a singular copy of Super 17 seconds to detonation. So he's got 20k, revive blue green, so if it dies you ditch a blue and a green card or blue green card to bring it back out. And auto once per turn, when one of your opponent's battle cards is KO'd, you draw a card, then your opponent chooses one card in their hand and place it in the drop. So if you KO something, you draw, they discard. Pretty useful. And we have 2 copies of Supreme Technique Son Goku. So it's got 20k, blocker, arrival blue-green by paying a blue, and then you can, its auto is you choose 2 clone tokens in your opponent's area, remove them. When this card is played, your opponent chooses a card in their hand and place it in the drop area. So it makes your opponent discard a card on place, and then you get a blocker. If you can, a combo I like to do is paying its arrival cost with D18. So D18 will make them put cards from their hand to the bottom of the deck when it's comboed. You can then arrival Goku in, and Goku will make them discard a card. So it's just a way of ripping 2 cards at the opponent's hand for 1 blue energy. So it's pretty nice. Well, that makes up the majority of the rest of the deck. So we've got our 5 costs now. And to start with, we got our brand new and very nice card, Android 18 Measureless Strength. It's kind of a godsend for Android decks in general. Oh no, blue androids. I thought it'd just be androids in general. No, okay. So it's got 25k critical, arrival blue-green by paying blue, a green, and the colourless. It's got a permanent of if your leader is blue android, and gets cards energy, exhaust, skills in all area. So she can just go straight to energy as active. Got a lot of when this card is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with up to 1 card from your opponent's hand and place them at the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. So nice bit of spot removal and hand destruction. And then she's got active main, limit 1, discard this card, look at 5 cards from the top of your deck, up to 1 blue android card, cost 5 or less from amongst your hand, then shuffle your deck. All the androids in here are 5 or less, so she can hit all of them, no issue. And like I said, it's just very useful for blue androids because it's a discard searcher. So instead of having to pay the energy, you can just chuck her. Or if you charge her, it works out as well. Because in this deck, you can play stuff from your energy. So, very useful. Next, we've got 4 copies of Android 21 The Bad Omen. She's got 25k, active main, pay 2 blue, 2 green to place from your energy. And then an auto of choose one of your energy and place it in the drop area. When you play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and up to 1 card in your opponent's life and place them in the owner's drop. So, on place, she can burn an energy and hit your opponent's life. So that is kind of the aim here, is you just charge as many of these as you can, play her out, and then burn them. And if they don't die, you just have a 25k beat stick to go at them with, and you remove a card from the battle area. And our final 5 drop is 3 copies of Super 17 Hell's Ultimate Weapon. So he's got 25k permanent. If your leader is Blue Android 21, you negate energy exhaust skill. So if our leader is our leader. And he's got active main, you pay 2 blue, 2 green, and 3 other energy. You play his card for your energy, and then you play up to 3 Android cards with an energy cost of 5 less from your energy. So you play him out, plus 3 androids from your energy, and then they get to do their on play skills. So like I said, you use this guy, once you hit 7, you can play out 3 of these, you can play out an 18 and 2 of these, just any combination of androids in your energy. You could play another one of them, but it's pointless. And like this is the main target, you just want to bring this out, burn some of your leftover energy, and hit your opponent hard. And our last card in the deck is the secret rare Super Saiyan for Vegeta, Peak of Primitive Power. He's got 40 cakes, ultimate, because secret rare, arrival blue, green by paying 3 blue and 2 green. And he's got an auto, when you play this card, you choose one of the following effects. So if it's your turn when you play this, he gains double strike, critical, and triple attack for the turn. If it's your opponent's turn, You choose one of your opponent's back cards, ignoring barrier, place it in the owner's drop, then you add up to 2 cards from your deck to your energy. So they go in active mode because you get to choose what they go in, unless they're well, I think it gets around the multi kind of thing. I don't know. I've not really done that. Ideally, you just play it in your turn so you can hit them for double crit 3 times in a row. I will say now, if you don't have him, you might have a different secret rare you can run, or you could easily just up numbers. Like you could run an extra one of these. You could run the 4th one of this. I did run 4 of this originally. I just took it down because once you hit 1 in the energy, you're pretty much set up. So don't need to run 4. But it's entirely up to you. You could run something I don't have in it. Whatever floats your goat. So, with that said and done, that is my 21 deck profile. So thank you for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!